So, in the previous chapter, you saw analysis of beams by applying three equations of statics, how to determine the external support reactions as well as internal member forces for determining beams. Now we will take up analysis of plane trusses. So by again applying equations of equilibrium only. Now here also we will take up a simple truss. A simple truss I will take to start with. Like this, we will take up a simple truss. A, B, C. A truss, how do you define a truss? A plane truss is defined as a structure consisting of made out of line members lying in a single plane, line members lying in single plane, interconnected by pin joints, and subjected to again gravity type of load. Here it is only connected by pin joint, whereas in case of beams or frames it is rigidly connected, rigid joint, and all members lie in one plane. That is plane of structure. Here also we can do the analysis by just applying equations of equilibrium as I have already seen. So here this one thing you have to remember, when they are interconnected by pin joint in the form of triangular network. That is very, very important. So all these members, when they are interconnected, they should form a triangle network. It should not be any other type of like this. It should not be. It cannot be called as truss. So then it has to have another members like this, so that it should be in the form of triangular network only. That's very important. Then only you can call it as a truss. Otherwise, it will become frame. Even if it is pin jointed, we have to call it as plane frame only, and it is subjected to bending. Otherwise, if you want to call it as truss, then the arrangement of all these line elements which are interconnected by pin should be in the form of triangles only. If you take any three members, minimum three members should be there. Three or less than three. More than three it can have, but again it has to be in the form of triangles only. That one thing you have to remember. So here you take a simple truss. So the analysis of truss involves determination of external support reactions, then internal member forces, So here these two, as we have seen in beams, external support reactions using three equations of statics. We have to use all the three equations of statics for reactions, just like beams, as I have shown. You have to identify the supports, find the support reactions, and apply three equations of equilibrium to evaluate the support reactions. And then internal member forces. So you have only one internal member force, namely axial, namely axial. So any member, it is subjected to only one axial force, no other shear or moment, because each joint is pin joint, only one member force you have to determine per member. Only one internal force per member you have to evaluate. Again, this you have to evaluate now by not 3 equations of equilibrium, by only 2 equations of equilibrium, because this member, it may be, it need not be either truly horizontal or truly vertical. If it is truly horizontal and truly vertical, then there will be only one internal force. If it is inclined, then it will have one horizontal component and one vertical component, but the force in the member is only one, that is axial only, but it has 2 components at the ends along x and y direction. That's why we are applying 2 equations of equilibrium, sigma fx0, sigma fi0, and we find out a horizontal component at the end, vertical component at the end, and these 2 we can add it to find the resultant axial force along the member. That is square root of fx square plus fy square. That because truly orthogonal, we can find that force in the inclined direction. That is again by applying 2 equations of equilibrium. By applying 2 equations of statics, sigma h equals 0 and sigma b equals 0. Moment is not come into picture because it's a pin joint, there is no moment at any joint. So like that, we can find all the internal member forces. Like beams, analysis of stress also involves support reactions and internal member force. In the beams, in any member, we have 3 forces: horizontal, vertical, moment. If there is no, all the loads are vertical, then horizontal we were taking as 0, only vertical shear, and moment we were determining, that you have seen in the previous example. That's internal force. This is static force analysis. Then we have evaluation of displacements, displacement at joints, at various joints. Again, this you can do by strain energy method. It's altogether a different procedure. In beams, you have, in addition to strain energy method, you have area moment and conjugate free method. So that I have already told. Here you have only by strain energy method. By strain energy method. This we are going to do in subsequent chapters. So here now we will take up only this evaluation of external support reactions and internal member forces. Then we can do this displacement. So in this type of truss, whatever we have considered, here it is only one joint, only one network. So here you can avoid this first step because you need not determine the support reactions. You can start only determining the internal member force by applying, because there is only one joint. This is support. Support reactions you need not determine the internal member force. From that automatically you will get the support reactions. So we don't go with this determination of support reactions first. Whereas in other type of trusses, where you have number of triangles are more than one, here it is only one type of triangular network. So in this type of problem, you first determine only the internal member force by applying 2 equations of statics, taking that internal, only one joint, internal joint, and then find the support reaction. And that is your analysis. So in this particular type of truss, we take up these truss. So we take the load W like that, right? So this we take inclination as 60 degrees, or okay, here also it is 60 degrees. Either inclination may be given or the 2 lengths, horizontal and vertical lengths also may be given. Here we take this and this depth of one other dimension, we take this as 2 meters. So this is the problem we have taken. So we start with this. As I told you, we take first, this is called a method of joints. So we don't say, though it is only applying two equations of equilibrium, we call it as method of joints also, wherein we take the free body diagram of each joint instead of taking a section. In the case of beams, you take different sections and consider the free body diagram either towards left or right of section, and consider the algebraic sum of all vertical forces equals as the shear force at that section, and moment, algebraic sum of moments as the moment at that section. Whereas here, instead of section, we take joint by joint. First we select a joint wherein not more than 2 members are meeting. That's another point you have to remember. So for analysis of these plane stresses, always that is for determining the internal member forces. Of course, support reactions you can determine the usual way, that is applying 3 equations of equilibrium, sigma fx0, fi0 and mz0. And here in this problem I told, so you can avoid that, you can find only the internal member force. So to find internal member forces, here you have 2 members, AB and AC, 2 member forces. So there will be only one axial force here, AB, AC, another here, FAB. Always you take the internal member force, axial force, as tensile force, which we denote by showing the arrow moving away from the ends. That sign convention we adopt. Always arrow moving away like that. It is called tensile force as positive. That's the sign convention we follow. There in beams we follow for shear force towards a section we were taking. At that section towards left acting up positive, towards right acting down positive. Similarly, moment towards left acting anti-clockwise positive, clockwise positive, towards right anti-clockwise positive. Whereas here in trusses, in any member, there will be only one axial force, and we take only the joint with respect to joints only, not section. So section also we take it, that's called method of section. Here first we adopt only method of joint. Here arrow moving away from the joint, that we take it as the positive. So to find the internal member force, first consider a joint with only 2 unknown member forces. Unknown member forces. That is very, very important. Always first you consider any joint with only 2 unknown member forces. Here as usual, there is only one joint I told. That's why we didn't determine the support reactions. A truss wherein only one joint is there. We can take up problems involving more number of triangular network or more number of joints. Then we have to determine support reaction first, then evaluate this type of procedure for finding the internal member force. Here there is only one joint wherein you have only 2 internal member force that I have considered. This is F, A, C, this is F, A, B. That direction we take always to start with in the positive direction. So that inclination, it is known 60 degrees, 60 degrees, this is point A. This is called free body diagram. To draw the free body diagram, and of course there is a load also, W acting. So then you have to consider at any joint for finding the you have to consider the free body diagram of a joint with not more than two members, then apply two equations of equilibrium. So here you consider joint A, consider joint A as in figure. Free body diagram of joint A as in figure, then apply two equations of equilibrium. Sigma h equals 0, you will get FAC. This you resolve horizontally and vertically. So here, if you resolve horizontally, it will be like this. If you resolve vertically, it will be like that. Then only you will get this force. Here, you will get like this and like that. Horizontal component, vertical component, and these two will give you that force. So this FAC, this horizontal component cos 60. FAC cos 60, it is like this. Then plus FAB cos 60, that is like this. Right? Because the resolved horizontal component of this is like this. So it is like that. That's all the force. This is vertical force. Sum of all horizontal force, resolved force. FAC cos theta, FAB cos theta, that is one is acting left to right, right to left, plus equal to 0. Then this gives you FAC cos 16 means how much is that? Cos 16? Half. Cos 60 is half. This is, because this we take it as positive acting left to right. Minus. This, it has to be minus FAB into half, that is equal to 0, or you will get FAC equals FAB. That half get cancelled, you will get FAC equals FAB. So this is your first equation. Then you can adopt sigma V equals 0. You have to adopt apply three equations of equilibrium at each joint. So you will get here FAC sin 60, that is vertical, that's acting up. Then plus FAB sin 60, that's also acting up only. Then W acting down. It should be 0. So you have to adopt two equations for equilibrium for finding the initial member force. First you take joint by joint, any joint with not more than two unknown members that I have selected, only one joint, A, the two members only I showed, and you mark all the forces, resolve all forces horizontally and vertically, apply the two equations, you will get the internal member force. So this is FAC into sin 60 is root 3 by 2. I will take acting up positive, so this is FAB root 3 by 2 positive, this is minus W equals 0. So this is our second equation. So from one you have two equations I have I got this. You solve these two equations, you will get FAB, FAC. So solve 1 and 2, you get internal force, internal member forces. That's all. That is the only analysis. So here, so from one FAB equals FAC. Therefore, from 2 FAC, I will put FAB itself, root 3 by 2, because FAC is equal to FAB. This is also FAB, root 3 by 2 equals W. So this is nothing but FAB This is root 3 by 2 plus root 3 by 2. It is 2 root 3 by 2. It
Root
is
3.
root 3. Correct? Huh? Root 3 equals W or FAB equals
W by root.
W by
Root 3.
root 3.
Which is equal FAC.
So FAC equals FAB. That's it. So I have determined FAB, FAC. So that is trust analysis. So when once you evaluate the joint forces, that joint wherein only two members are there, then you go to other joint, wherein again not more than two unknown member forces are there. Consider that joint. Like that in a trust you can evaluate all the forces. And of course this first step, that is evaluation of support reactions, that I have not considered here in this. Of course, if it is required similar to B, we have to take it. We have to first take moment about any other support, any one of the support, evaluate vertical reaction. Then of course sigma h equals 0 if you adopt horizontal reaction will get it. Because always the determinate stress problem, you will have either this type of problem or this type of problem which has only one hinge and one roller and any other stress, any number of this like this. Any number of joints. Of course, again, here it has to be externally determinate. We should have only hinge and roller. You take moment about this hinge point, you can find out this vertical reaction. You take sigma h equals 0, this you can evaluate horizontal reaction, sigma v equals 0, finally you can evaluate this. So after doing this, you find out any joint where not more than two members are there. Take that joint, apply two equations as I have told, set, taking this sign convention like this. Of course, resolution you have to do properly. That I hope you know already, which you have studied in applied mechanics, resolution of forces, because inclined members always you have to resolve horizontally and vertically the component. But these members which are truly horizontal, truly vertical, you need not do any resolution. Only the inclined members you have to find out that inclination with horizontal or vertical and resolve them horizontally, vertically. Apply the two equations, get two equations, solve those two equations to get the unknown member force. This is called method of joints of analysis of truss. Right? So this is about analysis of plane truss, analysis of beams for external support reactions and internal member force. This is the general method of analyzing either determinate beams and trusses. Then we have one more method called influence, using influence line diagrams. ILD is called influence line diagram. So that we will take up next. So we will define what is influence line diagram. Using that influence line diagram, how to analyze determinate beams, that is how to get the bending moment at any point, how to get the shear force at any point, and how to find the reactions and supports. Like that, truss also like that. How to find the internal member forces at any junction, at any member, at any point, at any during in any portion of the truss. We will using that influence line diagram that we will